Alright, so the front of the Lotus is all PPF'd, which means it's going to be needed a little bit different of a decontamination than normal. The rest of the car is normal, so yeah, we'll show you the full process. But since this video is a breakdown, I'm going to show you exactly how we do it. So, start with the wheels. Luca has already sprayed them with our iron remover and wheel cleaner. We're then going to rinse down the whole car, foam up the whole car, iron remover, clay bar, and I'll show you the whole process. So we've just finished spraying the wheel with our iron remover and wheel cleaner, and as you can see, it's already going purple and the calipers are going yellow. We'll then get our barrel brush and just start working it in on the barrels. We'll then get our wheel brush just for the actual rim, and as you can see, our wheel cleaner, the Prism wheel cleaner, actually makes it go all brown, so that just shows you how much it's removing. We'll then get our brush and just work into the lug nuts and other areas. We'll then use the microfiber to work it into the face and the back of the spokes as well, and the little corners to remove any contaminants, just so when we put the wheel coating on, they are completely clean. And then pressure wash it all off. Now we're going to do all 4 of them, and then we'll get to decontaminating the rest of the car. Now we're going to rinse the whole car down. And we are now going to foam it. I'll now do the full contact wash. Now the contact wash is done, we're going to move to iron remover and clay bar, but we've got to rinse all the soap off first. We've now got our iron remover here, and we've got our clay mitt here, and we're just going to spray down a small section, like the half of the bonnet, and then we're going to work in the clay mitt. This thing's actually very, very clean. There's barely any contaminants in the paint. Now the car's been fully clay barred and we've applied iron remover to the whole car, we're going to rinse it all off dry, then remove it back in. And as you can see, there's no purple on the floor, which means it really didn't have many contaminants on it, which is a good sign. It was taken care of. Now the car's been fully decontaminated and all rinsed down, we're now going to use our drying towel. Since there is no hydrophobic properties to the car anymore, because there's nothing, no sealants or anything on it, it's pretty hard to dry. And that's the difference with the ceramic coating. There would probably be barely any water on the car if it was coated. So we've just finished decontaminating this car. It's received the exact same decontamination process as the Lotus has. And because it's matte, obviously you can't paint correct matte, but we can still prep it for coating. So we're going to use our isopropyl alcohol, and we're just going to spray down the whole car. I'm going to do the bonnet just as a test sample, just to show you what to do. Coating a matte car is a lot more scary than a normal car because you cannot correct it. So if there is a high spot for whatever reason, you're fucked basically. So we've now got our 2 microfiber cloths, which are brand new, that we're going to use to level it. We've got our Prism Forge here, which is our 3-year ceramic coating. We've got our applicator block. So it's basically the same as a normal ceramic coating, but as I said, you have to do super small sections just to make sure that there's no chance of you leaving a high spot, because if you do on a matte car, full respray. So it's going to be an expensive mistake if that was to happen. So when I was to do this, I would probably do, I'll do this section here, then I'll do this section here, then I'd probably cut the middle part into 2 sections. One other thing, the car has to be super dry. So there is literally not 1 drop of water anywhere. We've blown out the mirror edges here. All of the trims have been blown out heaps. So just so no water can drip down and flash the coating. Shake up our Prism Forge, and we're just gonna put, 10 to 20 drops on our applicator pad. Make sure it's super soaked and just let it sit for a little bit. And with our microfibers, you want to get one with the low pile and one with the high pile. So this has had enough time, and I'll show you here what's going to be done. So you want to put it in a cross to begin with, and then you want to fill in the cross or the box that you've done, just so there is the same amount of coating on every pass. You don't want one pass to be dry because it will dry out faster. So now that it's fully been done, you want to give it about 30 seconds to flash. Okay, now that it's had 30 seconds of flash, you can see the actual streaking from the coating just showing that it's flashed. You want to use the low pile part of your microfiber first, just to level it out as much as possible, and then you want to use the high pile to grab any any coating that's might have spread around, and you want to do an even bigger section just to make sure that you've not accidentally pushed it, you know, onto another guard or something else and destroyed the car basically. That is now coated. As you can see, it does look a lot better than what it was. It's now protected and owner's gonna be super happy. So we're gonna apply some more forge to our applicator, and I'm going to probably do just here to there because I really do not, I'll probably do this actually. Do this, then fill in the box. There are ways I've heard that you can paint correct matte. I have done it. We actually did it on a matte black CBR last year, on a matte black CBR bike. The customer recommended this matte polish. We did it and it did work, but I honestly would not recommend doing it to a car. There's just too much likelihood of making the matte glossed, and you don't want to do that. So it's been around 30 seconds. We're now going to use the low pile microfiber to get most of it. And as you can see, I've pushed it heaps around, and if I couldn't see properly, that would eventually become a high spot. So I'll then use the high pile and I'll pick all the rest up. With matte coatings, they do make the car around 10 to 20% shinier. They make them deeper. You might not be able to see it on the camera, but here just looks so much more rich and deeper compared to the top of the bonnet. So I don't warn customers about that. I've had some friends say that, they've accidentally missaid that it changes the color. It doesn't, it just makes it richer and better. Like how when you were to coat a normal car, the paint does become 30% glossier, which makes it look better. This becomes deeper and richer, which is heaps nicer. So in person, I can see how much richer and how much brand new and better the bottom of it looks compared to the top. So matte cars always come out amazing, and a couple of the matte cars we've done in the past all looked unbelievable afterwards. I'm gonna apply some more forge, and I'm gonna do this part here. So like we did before, a cross. And the reason I like the cross is because of the fact that whenever you go past, you're picking up more coating. When we first started, or when I started the other business, we were correcting and coating a black Porsche Macan or Cayenne. It's the bigger one. I can't remember which one it was. And what we were doing is we're basically just starting, and we were doing the cross. And by the time we were finishing, the last strip that we were doing was flashing, but the first strip that we did wasn't. And it took me a while to work out. That's because there's a lot less coating on the applicator towards the end than there is in the start. So it was flashing there and it wasn't flashing there, which is why I do the cross. Yeah, and because of course Jesus is king. We'll then use the low pile, get most of it off, then use the high pile. So we just had a viewer ask what's the difference between low and high pile. Low pile is like the dead side, and high pile is the nice fluffy side. And now I'm just going to do the middle. I'm going to split it into two sections because I can't really reach there, and I do not want to leave a high spot because I couldn't reach it in time. So do that, make another cross. Perfect. So because of the lighting in the shop, I couldn't actually see much there. So that's why I'm saying do smaller sections, because you do not know what you've missed, where you've done, what's spread out, and you cannot make a mistake on a car like this now. That is now the bonnet completely done. And if you were to compare it, so here hasn't been done, for example. I know obviously you can't tell, but if you were to compare it, it's crazy how even though this is matte paint, it feels so slick now. And I recommend getting matte paint done straight out of the dealership because, for example, there are one or two weird water spots or marks on this paint, and there really isn't a way to get them off. I'm sure if you know something, comment, but it's probably going to be wrong. So there isn't a way I've found to remove deep water spots on these cars like these because you can't correct them. So once matte is basically bad, it's bad and you can't fix it. So get your matte car done straight away. We're now going to do this to the whole car, and then we're going to start working on the Lotus. Finally finished up the Lotus. It's going back where we're going to properly show you how to correct this and coat both of them. So we've got our Prism core for the full PPF job, and we've got Prism Eternity being applied by Luca to the rest of the car that isn't PPF'd. So this is a PPF and vinyl coating. It's specifically made for it, and we've done many cars with it. When I wrapped my whole caddy, I did the whole thing in core, and now it actually beads. So a couple drops onto the applicator bed and let it prime, same as before. And like before, we get the coating and we do our small sections. Even though this PPF is a bit old, now at least it's gonna still maintain those hydrophobic properties. So after a good track day, it's gonna be really easy to clean. All right, now that it's been about a minute, we're gonna get our microfiber and we are going to wipe it all off, just like that. That is now fully coated and it's super slick compared to here. As you can see, my finger's dragging compared to here where it's not. And Luca is applying Eternity, which is our 10-year ceramic coating, just to make sure that the rest of the car is now protected with warranty. So if you want to start a detailing business, you know now how to coat a matte car, how to coat PPF, and how to coat a normal car with correction. If you want to learn how to scale your detailing business, comment scale below. And if you want to get your car coated like these ones, comment ceramic. I'll see you in the next one.
Gen 3, like Gen 2 and Gen 1. Right. I wish we had a ways to fuck. So that's the only reason why we said, yeah, maybe we'll stay right now. It's because you're too tall, man. Yeah. It'll be